What up, everybody? Lex is back here. So today's video is going to be about capitalism versus communism. Well, first of all, I hope y'all had a good fucking holiday season, Christmas, Happy New Year's, all that shit. So this argument is based on, I'm pro-capitalist, so I'm arguing for capitalism here. And I just want to go over the definitions. So this is from the Merriam-Webster dictionary. And I think it's important because a lot of people who argue against capitalism, or people who are pro-socialist and pro-communist, at least 70% of them, it seems like they don't know the true definition of these words. Like, they mostly ignorant people. So let's just go over. This is from the Merriam-Webster, the essential meaning of capitalism: a way of organizing an economy so that the things that are used to make and transport products, such as land, oil, factories, ships, etc., are owned by individual people and companies rather than by the government. And now, communism is basically the exact opposite. A way of organizing, blah blah blah, used to transport products, blah blah blah, is owned by the government, and there is no privately owned property. So basically, in communism, the government owns everything. In capitalism, people own everything, right? Now, I say everything. Obviously, there's government land, and the post office is government, stuff like that. But overall, the vast majority of just anything linked to the economy, jobs, companies, houses, whatever, in capitalism is owned by people. The individual citizens of that country are able to own property. That's the biggest distinction from communism to capitalism. So basically, there's some arguments I've heard, but let's just go over this one here. And this is from debatingeurope.eu. So, against capitalism. Critics argue that under capitalism, society is split into two groups: the capitalists, who own the means of production, such as factories or companies, and the workers, who sell their labor to capitalists and keep the economy running. So let's just go over this right quick, because there's so much wrong here. Okay, so first of all, they're calling the people who own stuff, if you own a company, they're saying that you're the capitalist. But then the workers are just the workers. Like, no. The people who own companies are called business owners. So the entire system is a capitalist system, meaning what we said before. The individuals have rights of ownership. So even in true capitalism, the actual workers are also capitalists too, because they're in that system and they're selling their labor. So if you're a company and you're selling books, okay, what's the difference if you're a worker selling labor? You're still selling something. So this is all already, they're going into false equivalences, and they're making up society is split into two groups under capitalism. Like that's just not true. I mean, we live in America, which is, for the most part, capitalist, and we are not split into the capitalists and then everyone else, the workers. It's every worker has the ability to become a so-called capitalist, which is basically someone who owns something. You can start your own company. Anyone can. I mean, depending on what state you're in, it's going to be in Florida, the state, I think it cost me like $70 to start, to get my state license. $70. I mean, come on. Then you just have to do your EIN with the IRS. That's free. Like, you open your bank account, you might just have to make a deposit, $50 or something. Like, it's not that hard to start an actual company. Now, to make it successful, that's very difficult. But in terms of just starting a company, it's very easy. So the first thing is that, so they're basically saying that critics argue that under capitalism, this is the whole point that I'm saying, is that people who argue against capitalism, their arguments are fake, or they're ignorant, or they're purposely lying. Because real capitalism, society is not split into two groups, the capitalists and then the workers. In real capitalism, everyone has the ability to start their own company. Some people want to stay workers forever. Some people work and they're making enough money to where they don't want to take the risk of trying to create their own business. They just don't want to do it. They rather work, make $70K a year. Some people make $150K. Fucking car salesman. My damn stepfather, right now he's making $180,000 a year as a manager at a fucking dealership. He doesn't have to own his own business. That's considered capitalism because he's a car salesman, right? The thing is, in communism, it really is split into two groups, which is, instead of the capitalists, it's actually the government. And then the workers is everyone else. Because we see here, it says, communism, no privately owned property. It says it right here. The government owns. So the government, in communism, the government actually owns everything, and society is split into two groups, which is the government and then everyone else. In capitalism, anyone can be the so-called capitalist. Anyone can do it. Yes, it's difficult, but it's also difficult to work for someone else your whole life and be miserable. That's hard too. So get the fuck over it. Everything you do is going to be hard in different ways. So let's see what else they said. Capitalists make money based on the labor force of the workers. See, again, that's not true. Capitalists, they don't make money based on the labor force. They make money based on whatever company they created, whatever their idea was, whatever their product is, whatever the amount of time that someone puts into a business to create their own business before they even have their first sale. There's people who put months and months of hours and hours and hours of work into a business before they even make one sale. There's people who put years into businesses before that business turns a damn profit. There's people who could literally, I think it's like 60, I don't want to say something that's incorrect, but there's a very high percentage of businesses that fail. I think it's more than half. So all those people that put thousands of dollars into their business and they went bankrupt, what did they gain from it? Nothing. I mean, experience, but in terms of financially, they lost money. No one talks about that. No, they just want to sit here and say the capitalists make money based on the labor force of the workers. Basically saying like they basically slave drivers and they're just working people to make money. That makes no sense. When you start your own company, you have to literally create a damn idea, a company, a business, and you're usually doing it yourself until you get to the point where you need to hire someone to help you out. And whoever you hire, that person is agreeing to do this work for this much money. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's not slavery. That's not. Now, there are people who take advantage of people, and if that happens, then quit that job and go to a different job. And that might be hard, but we all go through hard things in fucking life. So basically, I think I'm gonna stop the video here. I'll probably do a part 2 and maybe go back over some of this stuff here, some of this other shit that they talk about. But for right now, yeah, that's it. I mean, basically, communism, the government owns the means of production. They own the businesses. Capitalism, the individual is able to own property, own their own business. That's the main difference. So, alright, y'all. Have a good night. Peace out.